Here we go. We've got progress in this window and a beautiful, if very glare-filled sight of nature down here. Anyways, time to get one of the most important things, automated power. Now, God, it's taking a while for those to pop up. So we've got a node here, and then we got 3 nodes right over there. Clearly that's the best spot, but I'm actually going to save that. We're going to go far east. I thought I saw something on that lava lamp. Anyways, before heading out though, we need to research a few things. And what I'll do later on is put this stuff at the end.
Research completed. Yellow power slugs are further into their life cycle than blue power slugs, and thus have more potential energy stored. They can now be processed into power shards. Power slugs extract latent energy from their surroundings to sustain themselves. By tuning the object scanner to the particular potential energy signature, it is now able to locate them against the background environmental static.
And as we are going to be running power, we'll need to start running a line all the way on out there. So that would have been another bonus to go into the closer area, but I'm complicated. And I'd just like to note, now that we have Blade Runners, our footsteps tend to be heavier. Anyways, I almost forgot this.
Zipline unlocked. When equipped, the zipline facilitates travel along power lines, regardless of whether the line is powered. Note: based on previous Pioneer events, Fixit recommends not using zip lines during thunderstorms and typhoons, or while drinking coffee.
Now, interesting bit about the whole if the lines are powered or not. I believe when these were first announced, it was explicitly stated you needed to have the line powered. But then when on release, it didn't, and I guess they just stuck with that. Anyways, that power line's a bit too high, so let's just slap on a ladder right here. Oh, come on. There we go. Now you lose speed going upwards, gain speed going downwards, and you can also hold shift to start boosting yourself. Then we're just going to head further past the Caterium node. All the way to the very edge over here. And here we get a better look of the northeastern part of the map. Pretty much just desert dunes. And over here with all the gas, I'm keeping an eye out for something. Honestly, it's not a great idea that I'm doing this at night if I want to avoid a particular something. But alright. Now we're just gonna throw down some power lines heading down that way. I'm trying to... Unfortunately, the ground's a little too far away, so... I kind of futz around a bit here. I'll eventually start cutting. Alright, let's just get onto that spire. Or arc. And stuck the landing. Perfect. Even with Blade Runners, I mean, sure, I'll survive a fall if I miss, but... It only takes one hostile creature to be around to finish me off. Oh god. Yeah, that's kind of the risk you take with the zip line. You do kind of like magnetize towards the line itself, but since it's in the way, you just kind of bounce around. Just making sure I'm not seeing any certain things. And oh, hey, look at that crash site over there. Whole bunch of creatures around it though, so we'll just ignore that for now.
Potential edible collected. Eating it and surviving does not count as a valid field test and does not generate enough data for Fixit to make an informed decision. Research it in the MAM to establish classification and potential application.
So yeah, 3 hogs, big hogs, and like an alpha spitter, so just, you know, put a marker down. I'll come back a little bit later. And yeah, the new map features, or the current map features, I should say, so much better. Before, I would have to like make a beacon and then go back and throw the beacon down. Now, I am going to kind of cut my travel time. What you see here is pretty much what the whole travel trip looks like. It's all a canyon, pretty much. And clearly there's a slug under those rocks, but nothing we can do about it. And my inventory is full, so let's just dump something.
Samples of unknown alien species acquired. Their weaponized plasma is most likely stored as a stable chemical substance in an organ close to their mouth, and only turns volatile when exposed to one of the chemical elements in the air. Research the remains in the MAM to establish classification and potential countermeasures.
And a little further ahead, and oh hey, a Mercer sphere in between 2 bulbous things, but once again, as I'm trying to cut down on the combat for now, just come back for that later. And I want to readjust my pole, don't want to be flying over those guys. But here we are, the far east of the map. Got a copper node here. I believe there's also an iron node somewhat nearby, but more importantly, two coal nodes right there. And there's 2 more a little further out. Now we need to ensure our dominance over the nodes. Huh. Could have sworn I killed that one. Oh well. Time to start drilling. These are, however, impure nodes, so we're only getting 30 per minute. And yeah, that's both of these. Another Mercer sphere off in the distance. Now, I believe in early access, when me and my brother first started playing, I don't think the water was like out here. I think if you just went this far out east, it was just like a flat desert, and that just kept continuing on, and eventually you just hit a kill zone and die. My brother discovered that. And as for my constant jumping, it has nothing to do with the jump sliding. It's just, I want to be able to see a little further ahead, so I'm hopping around to get some extra verticality. And this node is also protected by more of those bulbous things, as well as a spitter. A different type of spitter, too. But hey, the nodes aren't, like, covered, so I'll just build at them from a distance. And it's at this point I realize, oh shit, I have low health. Now we just need to get the belts connected. I don't get to check them right now, but come back a little bit later. One of those is a normal node and the other one is a pure node. So I'll also eventually come back and put a Mark II belt on the pure node, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to get all the coal out, you know, at the rate that it's being mined up. And we'll bring all the coal right to this little area here. I'll also bring the coal from earlier over to here as well. Just gonna need to take this one out. So besides coal, to make coal power, you also need water. So that's what makes this spot pretty good, because it's right next to the ocean, I guess. Side note, another reason why I would prefer to go here rather than over at that other place closer to base is that there's not really any...
That may indeed be water. Try submerging your arm. If it does not dissolve, that will narrow down the range of possibilities. Or you could just pipe it to a coal-powered generator and see what happens.
Man, the Pioneer is pretty buoyant in those heavy coveralls. Anyways, there's no, like, other nodes. I mean, there was that iron and copper, but there's less opportunity cost in building power here for the coal compared to that other area where it would be much better for another use later on. And now we're just gonna need to lay down some flat foundations for those coal generators. Because look at them. Look at how big they are. And here's a building I probably won't be building too often, but being able to get some better sight lines, just showing off the elevator, some better sight lines on where I'm building things is nice.
Interesting, most pioneers already had coal power set up by this point, because they understood their responsibility to humanity. Adjusting Pioneer attitude metrics. Reminder, coal-powered generators require coal.
Side note, I believe her little remark about speed is the same no matter how early you get it done. It wasn't because I was slacking my duties. But yeah, time to get this done. The coal generators take up 15 coal per minute, and I believe 45 units of water per minute. And that's going to be the fun balancing act here. For now, though, let's just get a conveyor going. This is still before I realized the purity of the nodes, so yes, I did indeed connect a normal and a pure node together. But again, we'll worry about that later. This is just getting things going for now. While that coal is heading on over, let's go ahead and get the pipes set up. Or actually, I think I'm trying to figure out the spacing here. Because what I want to do is there is enough coal here to do 16 generators. Just want to make sure I got the you know, I have enough space here. And this is the part where you will, if you don't have them already, you'll definitely want to have some Mark II belts, because once you start upsizing your power, you need to connect each individual power unit to a pole. So it ain't much fun when you've only got a Mark I pole with its 2 open slots, because you'll need to connect to your main power, then connect another pole to it before you even connect the generators.
Fixit pipelines can contain any fluid, including the water necessary for coal-powered generators. Note: water does not flow upwards by itself. While water extractors provide some lift, to truly defy gravity, consider the use of pipeline pumps.
So yeah, pipes can only hold 300 units of water in it at a time. And each generator or water pump here does 120. So you can't fit a full 3. And that's going to be the fun part. Also, Ada mentioned pumps. I believe it's 10 meters of force is naturally generated, and then you'll need a pump for every 20 meters. And pumps require power too. And warning, there's going to be some spaghetti going on here at the start, but I'll start cleaning things up later. But yeah, there we go. Look at that jump off of a single one. Each one of these uses 75 or provides 75 watts of power compared to a bio burner, which only does 30. So yeah, not only is it nice that it's automated, but it's way more power. Side note, there is no straight mode build for pipes, which is disappointing. What's also disappointing is not being able to do the whole control thing to line up if I don't have the pipe pointing directly at the entrance to the coal generator. But what's worse, those angles or the clipping? Yeah, look at that. Our power production is now above our max consumption. But alright, let's start setting up the other row of generators. I also had to run back to base to get more reinforced plates. Spoilers, I will be doing that a lot. then because of the way I've got this set up with the manifold loading system, there's going to be some power fluctuations with the generator at the very end not getting enough coal, and it will stay like that until the generators closer to the start getting a full stack. And now we have some water issues. Time to start making some more. So to get enough water for this system, we're going to be needing 6 of these. And then I'm going to start refixing some things over here. Now just remember, each water pump only does 120, and the pipes we have now can only do 300. So that's why I've got the pump set up to 2 each, and then I'll just connect those 2 pipes and separate them out. Just like this. And to make things cleaner, I'm gonna build things underneath the foundations. Uh-oh, I finally aggroed one of those bulb things. So as you can see, it spits out these 3 like flies. They run into you, they damage you, and I think they explode. I seem to recall they would just like bounce off of you and kind of roll around on the ground for a bit before flying back up.
Samples of unknown alien species acquired. It is unclear where on the flora or fauna spectrum it lies, but initial data suggests this might be a nest or an egg. Research the remains in the MAM to establish classification and potential countermeasures.
And now we have access to this. I'll just show this off. You chop up those stone hexagon things. Now, a side note, I don't think I've ever mentioned it about power, because I know I've mentioned in like construction buildings, the power increase is more substantial than buying separate or building separate of a building. But what about power production? It's actually just, I believe it's just a straight, 150%, takes 50% more material, produces 50% more power. It used to be that it would take in more materials, but it wouldn't produce as much power. So technically, if I wanted to, I could just make this 8 using power slugs, and it wouldn't be any different than building the 16 I got here. Anyways, pipes. These are one of my favorite items, the floor bowls. Start building a wall here and cleaning up all these power poles. It would help if I picked a proper pipe. There we go. And as you can see, we can also hang pipe supports from the ceiling, which is very nice. the plan is I got that one going to fuel, or I guess water, the rear ones, and then the two sets I have on each side will then go off into their own two sides. You'll see what I mean at the end. Oh god, it's not lining up. Anyways, it's at this point when I fix up my merging. So I now have the two impures merging with the normal node, and threw down a Mark II belt because that's 120. And then the pure node is on its own thing, which is also another 120. And yeah, I'm just showing off the power thing here. And yeah, this is what happens when this happens at the start of setting up coal. Either you don't have enough water, or you don't have enough coal coming in and you're just waiting for everything to saturate. There's actually another issue for my for the ones furthest away from the water pumps that is causing problems. We'll see that later. And part of the problem I think might be happening, I'm not sure if it is the issue, is a head lift. So, well, first off, I need to get some more rotors. Got everything else in my inventory except additional rotors, and I don't have space to build more. Also, weird visual bug. Sometimes a power pole will continue to highlight like I have it selected in deconstruction mode. Don't know what's up with that. Anyways, so as I said, pipes can only hold 300, but you can connect them further down the line, because you know these first three coal things will take 45 a minute out, and I'm not sure how pipes exactly work. Anyways, here's the completed project. I don't know if it's a first come first serve, or if it works like splitters do, where it'll just, you know, one unit of water goes one way, the other unit of water goes the other way. But anyways, what I have since done, I have the left and right sides on a single pipe going down. Then I got the middle one coming all the way back here. And this middle one is going to pipe into the end here. And as you can see here, I got pipes going through the floor. Part of the problem I was having was that those holes that I set up are actually too far up and were actually underground. Thankfully, the game is very forgiving in letting you clip through the floor. So yeah, I've done that. And then what I'm going to do is connect the end here to go back towards the front. That way, any extra water on the end here will be able to fill in the stuff in the back as well. Because it's not going to be using all the water at the back here. And I also later add a seventh one, pictured here, and then just connected that one. Well, I have that one connected to the other three. Since each one was only doing 240, that one will then push the other three sets into 300 per minute. Because I just want to make absolutely sure I do not have any water shortages. So yeah, here it is. Just making sure I got the Mark II belt set up for the pure node. It's okay if the Mark I belts are here for the 2 impure and 1 normal ones, at least until they merge. Yeah, everything looks so much cleaner now, throwing the pipes underground. If I wanted to be really fancy, I would have just thrown the coal underground too. Now it's just a waiting game, because yeah, there's just going to be constant fluctuations. Obviously, you don't want to immediately, go ham on building things as soon as you set up your generators. Unless you go through the effort of setting up a balanced manifold, but I mean, there's 16 generators there. Can you imagine how much space a balanced manifold's going to take? But anyways, nearly 1,300 megawatts of power. That's also counting the biomass burners, but most of it's the coal.
Unknown chemical element collected. This non-metallic and multivalent element seems to be present only in a solid state, and exhibits a most pungent smell. It is fortunate fix-it helmets are of such high quality. Research it in the MAM to establish classification and potential application.
And you just saw that on my way back home. Be very useful to be able to scan for it.
This unknown chemical element was in reality an unusual mixture of solid sulfide and sulfate materials from which sulfur can be extracted. Sulfur's primary use lies in fertilizers, which we have no use for. Instead, this element enables access to more volatile obstacle clearing and pioneer defending tools.
I wonder if that last line about fertilizer not being useful is like a hand wave to the fact that there's no like automated way to get leaves and stuff by growing them.
The remains researched belong to an organism that tends to nest near objects emitting specific types of resonance. Spitters are called as such due to their ability to create and spit plasma across long distances. Spitter remains can now be made into alien protein, and additional research may reveal options for improving pioneer safety during exploration. The remains researched belong to a plant-like organism hosting the larva of the flying crab, the most mature of which hatch when threatened. Hatcher remains can now be made into alien protein, and additional research may reveal options for improving pioneer safety during exploration.
Yeah, pre-release materials showed like a giant crab creature that also has those flying things, and yeah, they cut it and made an announcement of we will not be bringing this creature into the game at all. What a shame.
This fruit, dubbed the barrel nut after its distinctive color, is compatible with the human digestive system and has been added to the object scanner. Further research is available.
Alright, got a pretty decent amount of research going on here. You can see all this nice stuff. This right here is a particular nice thing to unlock.
Research completed. AI limiter recipe unlocked. New Caterium research available.
So AI limiters will let us build smart splitters, which I believe I'll be researching here.
Smart Splitter unlocked. The Smart Splitter offers advanced settings that can improve conveyor belt logistics.
And it lets you basically filter out your splitters, which is nice if you have multiple items on one belt. It also lets you do things like set your splitter to only allow overflow, so you can have a whole bunch of stuff go down one conveyor belt but only splits once it overflows into like a sink, for example.
Pocket dimension significantly expanded. I worked all afternoon analyzing the transdimensional confibulatory permutations of alien DNA to achieve this. We are all doing our part for Fix-It.
I appreciate it, Ada.
Research completed. The protein inhaler can restore health in the eventuality that you have been carelessly damaging Fix-It property.
So yeah, medical inhalers, best healing item in the game. Don't know why I was looking at the other thing when I know they should be in here. They fully restore your health. So always a good idea to have those on hand. Alright, we got coal. Now we have no worries about keeping up with power. Time to build for real. Later, everyone.